Just checking the lighting. Who's good, Potato Spindly here, and this time around we're covering Halloween 2. It was made in 1981, John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. This one I was a little more fond of, because it was, and let me say this, I already recorded a previous version of this. I love the lighting, I love the energy in it, but I forgot to give it a rating, and the phone didn't let me go in and edit it, so I'm going to punish it. You're gonna watch while I do this. Woo! No, that's too much. Too much. Doing too much. Doing too much. Too much! Ugh! Son of a bitch! Well, now that that's out of the way. This movie picks up right where the first Halloween left off. They show the ending of the first one and continue with the events from there. Now, John Carpenter's a dick. I'm going to say this right now. Jamie Lee Curtis's character has just enough time to get to the hospital and get stitched up, when everyone there starts getting fucking killed. Creative ways, but impractical methods. Like, you had brutal ways where he would... Still relatively bad outside. I wonder how... So, you had practical and brutal ways, like drowning someone in a bathtub full of scalding water. You know, faces melting off. Oh God, help! House is not burning your hands too. To impractical off-camera deaths that they really didn't show. And it's unfortunate because some of these seemed really cool. One of the head nurses... what he did was he restrained her to an operating table. He might have knocked her out, I don't know. Knowing Michael, he probably could have just held her there with one hand and read a newspaper with the other, not knowing that he reads. If he does read anything, it's probably in Latin or Celtic. Apparently he's fluid in those. Anyway, the head nurse is strapped down to a table. An IV tube is shoved into one of the arteries in her arm. Now, there's no bag attached to it, so she bleeds out the blood. All the blood in her body is just being forcefully pumped out of the tube. This would have probably taken an hour, maybe more. Very impractical, but it had nice effects. I love the look of it. It's kind of a penalty showing off-camera deaths. Whenever you're doing something creative like that, I'm just grabbing a seat. I had to try to fill in some potholes, and I was working around a cow. But yeah, no, whenever you go with some pretty creative deaths like that, having them off camera will have an adverse effect. But at the same time, I love a lot of the camera work they did. Having some of the murders going on in the background while characters were unaware was fantastic. And showing kind of the layout by panning over cameras whenever characters were moving through them from one area to the next. That was another great call. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be Halloween 3, and I think it's called Season of the Witch. I don't think I've ever seen this one. It looks like it's mostly a story about Halloween masks, so I don't know if they're actually going to have Michael in it, which, what's a Halloween movie without Michael? I mean, just kind of gotta have him in here to fit the formula. As I've said before, one thing I do love about Michael is there's no actual supernatural force around him yet. I can't remember if they add one later on, but the biggest thing was always that he was just completely and totally insane, to the point where he didn't understand that he could die, which is why he was able to get stabbed and get shot and all this crazy shit. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and because the two movies go together, I'm going to give this one 3 potatoes, just a little bit higher, because it had a lot of good shots in it. It really did a decent job of kind of connecting and giving us kind of closure on the first movie when it, you know, wrapped up with him disappearing. And this one actually ends on the note of Halloween night ending, so there's no more dealing with him for the rest of the year. There was a few more factors. I can't remember what they were. Okay, I just remembered. We also have to take into account body count. Over the course of 2 movies, there were 10 or more victims. So, in early slasher films, the body count would be anywhere from 5 to 12 victims, typically. So, over the course of 2 movies, 10, maybe 11 or 12 people were killed. So, that's not bad, low body count for 2 movies. One thing that really turned the second one around, though, and just made it seem a little threatening, but at the same time very comical, was the murder weapon. Now, whenever you think about serial killers, you tend to think about the weapons. Jason Voorhees, you think about a machete. Freddy Krueger, you think of as a glove. Let's see, Scream, you think of a crowbar knife. Michael, you think about a big motherfucking knife like this. Just something massive, something heavy, something that could definitely probably just fucking destroy someone. In this movie, he used a surgical scalpel or his bare hands. If someone's willing to get close enough to you to fuck you up with a surgical scalpel, that's something. But at the same time, it's hilarious because he had this little fucking toothpick just running around. Yeah, I'm blind. Yeah, I can't see anything. What's that sound? Oh, it's the room filling up with gas. I can't see a way out. Oh, never mind. There's a massive explosion, and I am burned to ashes. I wonder how they're going to kind of clear that up. Like, there's plenty of Halloween movies after this, but how are they going to go ahead and save it after incinerating him with no actual supernatural forces being at play? I'm curious to see that. Have you seen this movie? What do you think of it? Are you going to watch it? Post all that in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep on keeping on. And I will see you in another... Did I do the rating? I don't want to have to do this again. Did I do the rating? I want to just watch the third one, snack on some chips, and drink my soda. Keep on keeping on.